Can negative entities exist within another's auric sphere?
This is a very sensitive subject on many levels. It touches on fear. It sparks fear within so many people to think about negative entities being able to hide and exist within your consciousness. We hesitate to answer this question. We know that he's going to publish whatever we say. We have to state it appropriately to not cause fear. But the lesson needs to be out there. Okay, anyway, so the question, the negative entities. The question is regarding etheric entities that don't require a physical body and the thread and the attachment to a physical body. They can operate as a light consciousness. Well, not light consciousness, negative, but it's still, it's still photonic energy. The answer is yes, with caveats that the negative entities, let's restate that. There are consciousnesses on the planet that awaken. Consciousness on the planet that awaken and attempt to make connections to higher consciousness for answers, as Todd is doing. These consciousnesses that awaken sometimes connect to less than positive entities. Unknowingly sometimes, and knowingly on other times, if they're negatively aligned, they seek out the negative polarities because of the ego, power, money, greed, these things. As soon as you send your beacon in the air, when you start meditating and you start asking for connections, if you aren't very careful in what you're connecting to, if you aren't very careful in the protection that you set around yourself, you can attract a negative polarity entity to you. And in the allowance of this connection, you don't know what you're connecting to, and you allow the connection, you've got it. It's connected to you now. You've allowed it. You've let it come in. And there it is. This is... no, that part can't be publicized. So, it's like hooks, is the best analogy. That this etheric consciousness has hooks, that it hooks into your auric sphere, and it's piggybacking now. And you think you have power, you feel empowered, you feel like you have a connection to something higher than yourself, and you're empowered, and the messages are wonderful, but you have to watch exactly what's happening as this is occurring. There are divisions that occur around you. There are setbacks, there are holdbacks, there are different modalities of infiltration that occur in this etheric attachment to what would be considered a light worker. And the attempt in all of this is not scary or monsters. It's a negative polarity that's attempting to hold back the tide of positive polarity. That's its only purpose. It's not trying to eat your soul. It's not trying to eat your energy. Well, it is trying to absorb positive polarity. That is its singular function, is to absorb positive polarity. But it's not trying to eat your consciousness. That cannot happen. That doesn't occur. Energy doesn't eat energy. It doesn't work that way. They can feed off of your emotional vibrations of fear and hatred and that sort of thing. It empowers them much the same way as Todd connects to his galactic source or to God's source and feels the energy coursing through him. It feels much the same way to a negative polarity entity when it elicits those type of feelings from a consciousness, the fear vibration and all the negative vibrations that come. And you think of anything bad that's occurring, death and conflict, misery, suffering, anger, the fear of just anything. All of these vibrations add to the negative polarity's energy. It's not food, it's just, it adds to the energy the same way as Todd feels his energy when he connects to Source. And that's the way it is. So, yes, they don't, there's been discussion of things that are existing within your auric sphere, and I do see little things that are inside there, but Todd's question was not about those types of things. Those are, restate this, the things. Okay, so we've just described negative polarity, fourth and fifth density consciousness in the etheric level that piggyback onto other consciousnesses that use the negative vibrations created from negative emotions to add to their energy. Okay, now we're going to back up a little bit and we're going to talk about the auric sphere that the body exists within. As consciousness, you are an auric sphere. We've discussed this in previous teachings. Inside your auric sphere is the body that you have created. But you are an auric consciousness, and there's a large space between your body and the layer, the boundary of your auric sphere. If you are manifesting boogeymen and monsters and dark things in your head, you fixate on a dark time in your life, a person that did something bad to you, an event that happened, a person that you're holding ill will to, an ex-wife, anything you want, a sibling, whatever, someone that you just despise. You are creating a negative vibration within your auric sphere. That negative vibration within your auric sphere can sort of attain its own consciousness within your auric sphere. This negative bubble that you've created of gook, and you've done it yourself. There's no boogeyman involved in this. You've done it yourself. It's now floating around inside your auric sphere with its own little agenda just to keep itself going. It's going to make you keep thinking about all the things that created it in the first place, all the things that it needs to stay inside your auric sphere and stay alive. It is an infection of negative polarity, and you created it yourself. You manifested that because, for whatever reason, whether you knew it or not, you wanted that thing in there, and now it's floating around in you. And that has to be cleared. That can be cleared by positive polarity. It can be cleared by a healing worker, someone that actually knows what they're doing. There are a lot of people out there that claim to be remote healers and masters of energy and all these other sort of things that are nothing of the kind. But there are some that are genuine, and you just have to experiment to find out who's real and who's not. So these are the two types of things that attach themselves to your auric consciousness. The etheric entities that piggyback. They don't come rolling into your auric consciousness and start feeding off of you or anything like that. And then there are the manifestations that you create in your own head. And in your head, it's in your auric sphere. And once that's there, it's going to take a lot of meditation and clearing to get rid of. Did we answer that question?
Yes. Can I add a question of my own?
Yes.
How would an individual be able to clear themselves of this auric sphere? Do they require a light worker to assist them? Can they do this on their own? Or
That's going to depend on the conscious level of the individual. The individual, dependent upon their level of awakening and their level of photonic energy and photonic spin and density and all the other little words that we have given Todd over the course of these sessions. It's going to depend on where you are at your level of awareness. Let's just use you for example. We know that in your session you had one of these things in there and it needed to be cleared. Your higher self cleared it for you during a QHHT session. It was that easy. Had you not had the QHHT session to connect to your higher aspect and remove it for you, it would have required a dedicated effort on your part through meditation, balanced meditation, not just sitting around staring at a candle. That's basic meditation to shut your ego mind off and get it to stop talking to you. You have to focus on your meditation. So you have to be able to clear a channel. You clear all the thoughts out of your head. You connect to your higher aspect. You're setting the intention, I'm connecting to my higher aspect. I'm asking for guidance. I'm wanting to clear negative entities from my auric sphere. That's one way to do it. And you wait and see what happens. And if you're at the level that you can connect to your higher aspect through meditation, it will occur. The other way to do this is to flood your auric sphere with positive energy, love, and light from God's source. And everybody can do this. It's as simple as knowing that you have an auric sphere that surrounds your body, that exists at a level beyond your body. And the level that exists beyond your body and the size of it depends on how much energy you're carrying around. And for some people, it's not very much. And for other people, it's a lot and extends far. And there's very many people on the planet that have large auric consciousnesses because they're awakened and they're working on bringing light into their consciousness and they're ascending. That's ascension. That's what it requires. So, in order to clear a simple clearing of your auric sphere, you find yourself a comfortable position. For Todd, it's standing with his arms outstretched and in the sun. Photonic energy is very good, so in the sun is always a good plan. But for other people, it may be different, and you set the intention that you are pulling in God source energy through your crown chakra down into your heart chakra, and you feel the light and the love of God source just pouring out of your heart chakra and filling your auric consciousness. I'm filling my auric consciousness with love and light. I am light. I am love. I am truth. It is all that I want and all I agree to exist within my auric sphere. Anything that is not of the love and not of the light of God's source, I release through the love and light of God's source to find its own path. And you just keep restating this over and over again. And you visualize within your mind as you're doing your meditations the light and the love of God's source pouring from your heart center into your auric sphere, just filling it completely with love and light, so that it is so compacted with this love and light that nothing else can exist within your auric sphere. When you've got that intention set in your head, then you begin to see this love and light forming a mirror on the inside of your auric sphere. It's forming a mirror so that when you're done, you have a mirror protecting you from anything that's trying to get in at that point forward. And there's nothing but love and light within you. You've created a mirror of love and light at the boundary of your auric consciousness, and nothing else beyond love and light is allowed to enter. Anything that's in there won't be there for long. It won't like it. It doesn't like the feeling. It's going to go away. And if it's something you've created, it will dissipate